Though I've been looking at plants for decades together now, some of these wild plants I couldn't get the opportunity to study. One is my career was took up all my time. Then also I did lot of work on this Ayurvedic herbs and organic farming, natural farming and all. Now in the last stage of my career, I got the sufficient spare time and energy and interest and all, and also high tech has come to my rescue, so I can do all these videos and high resolution photos and all. So while covering all the flora of this Dakshina Kannada, then one of the grasses I clicked and tried to get identified. They said it's a sedge. So I started looking a little bit about these sedges, and they're very fascinating group of plants. And though I am not at all an expert in this subject, and these are all vast groups of plants with thousands of members, and then they have some small differences also, so it's all but impossible for a lay person like me to tell about more about them. Also experts are very few in this subject, in this edges and all. Hardly people have studied them. Also they're not that charismatic like some of the other bright things, but actually when you look at them closely, they're very beautiful creatures or species. Now these sedges, there are three groups of this grass like plants. One is this regular grasses. Then grasses are supposed to have some kind of a tube inside and round, and they have these kind of joints throughout. And these sedges, there's a little kind of a poem about, like a rhyme on them, that is, sedges have edges. So this sedge, you can see it has an edge. So it's about there, around there it comes like that, and it's about 3-4 feet by 2 feet maybe, and it has that kind of sideways spreading nature. It doesn't grow very vertically up. And while researching about this, I came across some interesting videos and some talk about how these sedges can make very nice eco-friendly lawns also. Instead of getting all those exotic grasses and spending great deal of time, energy and all to maintain them, we can go for these sedges. They are also not thorny, and they spread out nicely, and when you look at them closely, they are very beautiful. Let's now get a closer look. This particular sedge, it is having it's a community all by itself. You see that little desmodium flower is there. So desmodium is growing along with it, and then leaves are like grass only. You can't really, at least for my eyes, it looks the same. Then this is where the edge of the sedge is. So it hosts a lot of life. See that millipede is there. Some tiny spiders are there, and then there is one grass also has come in between. So the sedges form a kind of community of their own, with some species who can go along with them. And little grasshoppers and spiders are there. I can't show all that in these videos. Then one Mimosa pudic also is there. So some half a dozen species can coexist along with this beautiful sedges. Then I think it has one central point, this sedge, from where it radiates outward. Probably it is here. And it keeps the soil cool. It's good for retaining moisture, and then for the soil health, because it makes such a thick carpet type of formation. And in this post monsoon and all, the dewdrops form, and it is shaped in such a way that the dewdrops kind of go inwards. So they gather dew, and then they trap. They don't allow any soil erosion to happen. Such a thick, matty kind of formation is there that even if there's water is flowing, it will stop all the sediment, and this particulate matters in the water will be filtered out, and clear water will flow out. So it prevents soil erosion, keeps the place cool because it absorbs huge amount of sunlight, and it's also thick. See here, if you see, it's almost 2 inches thick, and underneath the soil is quite soft and nice. So it's an excellent plant for this degraded places, and then for remedial activity with to fix these ruined places and all. Sedges can be considered. Also, they are very, very hardy. They don't need your maintenance and all. They are very, very capable survivors, and once established, they live long. I suspect years together. Probably, seeing the size of this sedge, this must be many years old. And I have seen few other sedges. I will be covering over a period of time. So it has a very beautiful circular formation. You can see it, and as that rhyme indicates, sedges have edges. So it has an edge. That's the edge. And here you can see the Lepidognathis also is there at the edge of the sedge. So there is no soil and all here in reality. Nothing is there. See. But the sedge can cope. So these sedges are worth looking into for serious gardeners and photographers and plant keepers and all. This is an excellent group of plants worth having a look at. And they also cut down noise pollution, it seems, amazingly, because all these little spiky kind of leaves, when the sound waves come, I think they bounce off or something. So they do have a role inside the cities, and in places like airports and all, where they have large open spaces. They need to cover it up with something. This sedge is a good option. Now it is surrounded by laterite rocks. Sometimes some 1 inch, half inch soil is only there, and full sunlight. Then there are some of the smaller ones also. This one must be a baby of that. This one is about 5-6 inches wide. That's all. And this one is probably the baby of that, smallest of the sedges. In a few years, you can see the nice round shape is there. If it is a sedge, since I am not an expert, I have no idea about them. But it does look sedge-like. That kind of a round central part is there, and then it's growing out like a flower formation. It has its own ecosystem. Lot of little spiders, centipedes, then some other small plants and all are there. Though I have to look into this subject in greater detail to understand more about them. It traps huge amount of carbon also. It's a good plant, worth studying. And then on the border, this may be a cypress or another sedge. Since I'm ignorant about the subject, can't really say much, but I can show you all these things. Very pretty one. I've photographed this numerous times. So there's one can score also here. Can score something. So half a dozen species are there, including my favorite Lepidognathis also is there on the edges. That's the Lepidognathis is there. This is a plant that has captured my imagination. I'm trying to grow it also.